This story might make you a little thirsty. After recent talks between President Trump and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, the two sides agreed to a 90-day extension on the existing 25% tariffs, but a planned increase to 30% has been put on hold for now while those negotiations continue.
And this reintroduces the question, how worried about price increases are tequila tasters and those who serve them on this side of the border? And what about tequila and distributors in Mexico? In a story you'll only see on ABC 7, I traveled to Jalisco, Mexico, in the heart of tequila country, to learn more about how tequila tariff talks are affecting prices and consumption. Everybody seems to have a friend that loves tequila, like my El Paso buddy, Manish Sundrani. And consumption by Americans has increased rapidly over the last decade as production south of the border continues strong. All the while as tequila tariff talks continue.
It definitely could come into the equation on do I need to be buying that tequila with that added tax, being that added tariff?
So you can imagine how concerned people are like Manish.
Adding tariffs is a tax on the consumer.
Who indulge in agave-based spirits. Speaking of agave, scores of agave plants take up hundreds of square miles of land in the Mexican state of Jalisco.
So I took a bus from the city of Guadalajara right here to Tequila, Jalisco, and I talked to a few of the vendors, and they frankly are a bit worried.
Marcos Fernandez, who gets many of his spirits from La Aguirreña distillery in Tequila, Jalisco, and sells them to Americans, also has his concerns. Marcos tells me, we want to send bottles abroad, but we'll have to pass on the costs and charges. Marcos also opened up to me about his fears that if tariffs go up, it still may inadvertently affect tourism in the town of Tequila, Jalisco.
As you can see from the sign right behind me, I am in the small town named Tequila, Jalisco, Mexico. It's about an hour drive away from Guadalajara. Of course, there are direct flights from Ciudad Juarez to Guadalajara, and this town is named after the drink itself, tequila. Why is that? Well, all around this region, they have a number of agave plants. Of course, agave is the plant in which tequila is made. That tequila that ends up crossing through Ciudad Juarez into El Paso and other parts of the United States, well, it'll become that much more expensive.
And Americans certainly love their tequila, with the demand more than doubling over the last decade. According to numbers from Statista and StatInvestor, import volumes of tequila coming into the USA have shot up from 107.6 million liters being exported from Mexico in 2014 to over 255 million liters in the year 2024. According to a Reuters report, in 2023, tequila surpassed whiskey as the United States' second best-selling spirit after vodka. And in 2024, tequila and mezcal coming from the agave plant yielded $6.7 billion in revenue. That is $1.5 billion more than American whiskey and just $500 million less than vodka.
We may be able to absorb the whole tariff.
Adrian Gonzalez, the general manager of downtown El Paso's Plaza Hotel, which is known to have the widest variety of agave spirits on United States soil, tells me so far the tariffs haven't been passed down to their consumers.
We're just waiting to see what happens, and as our vendors, because they communicate with us every day, tell us, hey, this is the last delivery at this price. Your tequila starting tomorrow will cost this much. Then we'll make that decision. Do we absorb part of it and reduce our profit, or do we just pass the entire tariff to our clients? It's going to have to depend.
That said, the Plaza Hotel's agave room and the bar at the Ambar restaurant still may not pass the upped tariffs to consumers in order to keep prices of tequila down. And back in Jalisco, Mexico, Marcos says it's not convenient for the USA or Mexico to increase the fees for imports.
In some cases, we may be able to absorb the whole tariff, right? To continue not only pleasing our guests, because they're very loyal, and if suddenly they're going to go 30-35% more expensive, they may not move. So we're going to have to play it by ear.
Playing by ear as the shots continue to go down smooth through the mouth, as all eyes are on the next round of tequila tariff talks, as die-hard agave drinkers and distributors must truly adopt the positive attitude of, if life gives you limes, make margaritas. And salud to that.
Cheers.
Yeah, well, the tariff uncertainty has also led some tequila producers and importers to front-load inventory, which made costs go up in some cases even before Donald Trump's tariffs were implemented.
And some even began stockpiling enough inventory to cover 6 months, and those costs have also impacted pricing and operations across the industry, of course. But Paul, I have to ask, with all this tequila tasting, did you find one that kind of spoke to you?
You know, I
or-
didn't really do a lot of tasting, but
Okay.
I've always liked Don Julio, Orendain. I've liked Tres Generaciones, Herradura. You know, things like Patron are overrated. And actually, in Mexico, people don't even drink Patron. I don't know if you knew that, but for some reason here. But no, I mean, in general, you know, tequila is just like a fine wine. If it's a good one, you want to sip it. You know,
Always
if it's
so
not
much
so good, if
culture.
it's Jose Cuervo or something,
no.
throw it in a margarita.
All right. Well, we're going to be right back with a look at your sports. Stay with us.